Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. City Council approved a contract for the demolition of Heritage House. 8 years ago, the Planning Board certified this residential tower as blighted. As part of the city's redevelopment plan, it's necessary to demolish the residential building to make way for future development of the site. In other City Council news, a $5 million contract was granted to Yates Construction for the Green Street Streetscape project. This will consist of road upgrades, storm drainage, and utility improvements. Work is expected to begin next month and should be completed in December 2023. In final City Council news, more than $45 million was allocated to water resources infrastructure projects, including the Camp Burton Lift Station. The sewer construction project will provide water and sewer services to a previously underserved area near Huffine Mill Road. Construction is underway and expected to take 2 years to complete. Greensboro City Council also authorized the sale and issuance of up to $96 million in bonds to refinance short and long-term bonds and to issue new bonds to fund additional water and sewer projects under contract. After a nationwide search and competitive process, Nasha McCrae has been appointed as Assistant City Manager. McCrae has served as the Director of the Parks and Recreation Department since January 2018. As Assistant City Manager, McCrae will oversee the Community Services Departments of Creative Greensboro, Human Rights, Libraries and Museums, Neighborhood Development, Parks and Recreation, and Workforce Development. In response to the appointment, McCrae said this is an exciting time to join the executive team as the city embarks on a host of projects aimed at taking Greensboro to the next level. Working with the visionary leaders of the community services team will present endless opportunities to meet the needs of all residents, placing an emphasis on providing an equitable quality of life. McCrae has been with the city since October 2009 and previously served as the Deputy Director of Parks and Recreation from 2015 to 2018. She began her career as a planner and redevelopment project manager for the city of West Palm Beach, Florida. McCrae has been instrumental in several key City of Greensboro initiatives, such as the award-winning Plan to Play Master Plan, Battleground Parks District, Windsor-Chavis No-Choke Community Complex, LeBauer Park, multi-million-dollar bond packages, and numerous recreational and community services programs. McCrae will move to the City Manager's office on July 1st. The Greensboro Police Department is bringing back National Night Out, and it will take place on Tuesday, August 2nd. The department is thrilled to once again host this popular event in person, keeping COVID safety measures in mind. Neighborhoods planning to participate will need to register. The deadline for registration is Friday, July 15th. Each participating neighborhood will receive balloons, t-shirts, and a yard sign. National Night Out is a unique crime and drug prevention program sponsored by the Greensboro Police Department. The purpose is to enhance the relationship between neighbors and law enforcement while bringing back a sense of community. For more information about GPD's National Night Out program, call the Office of Community Engagement at 336-373-2636. The city developed a partnership with Cone Health to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
Don't let the things that contribute to your symptoms stop you from enjoying your activities. I am Dr. Rosalind Hicks, an allergist from Allergy and Asthma Center of North Carolina, a member of Cone Health Medical Group. Let's get started and talk about allergies. Allergies are the common cold. Very similar entities. They both consist of a lot of congestion, runny nose, sneezing. Typically with the common cold, you're going to have, starting out, a little more scratchy throat, sore throat, and often a little bit of fever. Both can have cough because of the postnasal drip. and you're going to feel a little lousy with the common cold, will run down, dehydrated, those kind of things. And then with allergies, it can be any time of year. Cold may be more common in the winter season, and allergies can be with exposure. Did you just mow the lawn? Did you just take care of the cat or dog? Did you just clean out the attic with lots of dust? So those are the things we think about to differentiate between a common cold and allergies. The common triggers kind of fall into two categories: indoor, outdoor, seasonal, or year-round. So in the spring, we think a lot about tree pollen, followed by grass pollen and weed pollen, and then we have dust, mite, cockroach, mold, which can be indoors and out, and then any kind of furried animal, dog, cat, gerbil, any of those. So clearly, if we're sensitive to the animals, then we shouldn't have animals, we shouldn't be exposed to them, but we can't really control completely pollen exposure. So if you go outside, if you're doing something involving that exposure, then wearing a mask if you have to mow the grass, wiping off your hands and feet, taking off your shoes before you walk through the house so you don't track the pollen through, minimizing the window being down as you ride down the road, and wiping off the cats and dogs when they come in from their walk so the pollen is not throughout the house and on the furniture, those kind of things. Well, of course, avoidance would be the biggest action that we could participate in to try to minimize symptoms, but side of that, adding medications to minimize the congestion, sneezing, runny nose. I'm a huge proponent of saline rinse, and so that's something easy that's not medicated. It's just salt water flushing out or clearing out the nasal passages so we can take away those allergens that we've been breathing in. I think it is very important to prepare for allergy season so that you can minimize your suffering and you don't have so much congestion and headache or disrupted activity. I like to encourage people to start their medications around Valentine's Day, and usually that'll minimize their symptoms and they can go into the allergy season ahead and symptom-free. It is important for individuals to think about allergy testing if they're having lots of symptoms, uncontrolled symptoms, they've tried multiple medications, or they feel like there's one specific thing that they're really interested in knowing that they're allergic to. And especially if you have upper and lower airway symptoms, if you're coughing and wheezing, then that has become quite the standard for management to consider allergy injections. And we need to know exactly what you're allergic to be able to put in your specific vial so that we can manage you with the injections if we have the positive testing available there. And in the situation where you may be food allergic, having allergy testing can be very informative to know what to avoid. Thank you for joining us. I hope all this information has been helpful to decrease your suffering from allergies. For more information, go to conehealth.com/wellness. I'm Dr. Rosalind Hicks.
The City of Greensboro Human Rights Department is hosting its monthly meeting for the Transgender Task Force, and applications are being accepted by the Greensboro Youth Council. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The Human Rights Commission will host its regular monthly meeting at 6 p.m. Thursday, June 9th. The public can participate and join the meeting via Zoom. The meeting ID is 894-2018-6295. If you prefer to join the meeting by phone, call 301-715-8592. The Human Rights Department promotes mutual understanding, respect, and fair treatment of all Greensboro residents without regard to race, color, national origin, religion, gender, age, disability, or familial status. The city's Transgender Task Force is holding its monthly community meeting at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, June 15th. Attendees can join the meeting via Zoom. Use the meeting ID number 967-7312-6553 or call in by dialing 301-715-8592. The Transgender Task Force was created with the support and direction of the Human Rights Department to address the varying needs of the transgender community in Greensboro. The task force examines rules, policies, and procedures that create discriminatory barriers for those who identify as transgender. For more information, call the Human Rights Department at 336-373-2038. Greensboro Parks and Recreation is accepting applications for Youth Leadership Greensboro. This leadership development program is open to high school sophomores, juniors, and seniors. The program costs $80, but financial assistance is available. Applications are available online, and the deadline to apply is Friday, August 19th. Sessions will take place at the Barber Park Event Center the first Wednesday of each month from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. from October through April. All sessions have been approved through Guilford County Schools and are considered an excused absence. This program is designed for exceptional students who want to make a difference in the community by becoming advocates and problem solvers. It's designed by teens who have graduated from the program. Students will learn about diversity, politics, media, health, law, the economy, and the environment. For more information, contact Youth Development Director Britt Huggins at 336-373-7617. Music for a Sunday Evening in the Park, or the MUSEP Concert Series, has kicked off its 43rd season. Concerts will take place in various parks throughout Greensboro. Prepare to hear from some long-standing favorite bands, including the Philharmonia of Greensboro, West End Mambo, and Dobie. Several performers will make their MUSEP debut this summer, including the party band Beauty Operators and violinist singer-songwriter Emmanuel Winter. Ryan Deal, the city's chief creative economy officer, said after 2 years of virtual and hybrid concerts, we look forward to welcoming our neighbors back for a full summer of in-person concerts at parks and other green spaces throughout our city. Concert goers can look forward to food trucks and art activities being available for the first time in MUSEP history. All concerts begin at 6 p.m. on Sundays, except on June 19th. In honor of Juneteenth, the concert will start at 2:30 p.m. To view the complete MUSEP concert schedule, visit the city's website. The economic landscape is changing in Greensboro by leaps and bounds. Coming up after the break, meet the city's Economic Development and Business Support Manager. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. Greensboro has been reaping the rewards of millions of dollars in industry, resulting in hundreds of new jobs coming to the area. Joining me now to give us an overview of these exciting projects and how he manages the day-to-day deal-making is Marshall Yandel. He is the Economic Development and Business Support Manager for the City of Greensboro. Hello, Marshall. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You have certainly been busy. That goes without saying. It's been a busy year. Tell us what it's been like in your office the last 12 months.
Yeah, so I started a year ago here at the city, and it's just been gangbusters since I started. So a lot of really cool projects have announced and some really transformational ones. So I'll just hit some highlights, a couple of them if you don't mind. The first one would be Procter & Gamble. So Procter & Gamble has 2 manufacturing facilities here in Greensboro, one over in Brown Summit area and then the other one off West Market Street, and they're expanding their facility there off of West Market and Swing Road, and they'll be investing $110 million and 53 jobs. So that's a pretty substantial investment in Procter & Gamble, and they've been employee here, a large employee at the city of employer at the city of Greensboro for a long time. So we're excited about that continued investment.
Absolutely.
In the city there. Another one is an interesting one with RPM Wood Finishes. They're going to be locating at what they're calling a Center of Excellence off of Thorndike Road, off of 68, which is south of 40. And so what they'll be doing there is doing research and testing on different products that they'll be making there. And they really liked the location of Greensboro because of the talent and the engineers from A&T and others. So that's kind of a cool project. 19 million of investment and 53 jobs, so pretty good as well. So we're excited about them coming here to Greensboro. We had LT APPAREL. LT APPAREL is investing over $57 million in the city and hiring 116 folks, and they'll be located in the Brown Summit area off of 29 in Reedy Fork area. And so they're moving along. The construction, we were just talking with them earlier, the construction is moving pretty quickly, and we hope that they'll be opening soon. And so that's another great project for the city of Greensboro. They've been here for a long time, kind of flying under the radar, and they're now making a big splash. And so we're excited about that as well. Then the two sort of larger transformational projects that you might have heard about in the news is the Toyota battery manufacturing plant located at the Greensboro Randolph mega site. So the first phase of that is projected to be $1.3 billion of investment and over 1,700 jobs. So the city of Greensboro, as well as other partners like Randolph County, the North Carolina Railroad, Greensboro Chamber, of course, has been working on this project for years, and so the city is making significant investments in water and sewer infrastructure to make this to make the mega site a good site for Toyota. So it's very exciting, and we're looking forward to them becoming a part of our community as well. One of the last projects I'd like to talk about is Boom Supersonic Jet. I think you were at that announcement at the airport. They'll be investing $500 million and another 1,700 jobs as well. They're going to be making supersonic passenger jets. So, and this will be at the airport site. So it's really, that's another site that the city of Greensboro and the airport and other partners have been working on for a long time. And we're, all these projects are kind of hitting all at one time, but it's really exciting to kind of be here just as all these things are happening now. So it's exciting times. So.
And it's such a wide range of industry that you've just listed, anything from apparel to engineering, and of course supersonic jets is really exciting for a city the size of Greensboro.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited to see all of the variety, and it goes to show, I think, what Greensboro has to offer, that we can appeal to these different industries.
Yeah,
now, oftentimes we hear about companies coming into communities. Usually there has to be something more than just we're a great place to live.
Yeah.
Incentive-wise, what does that consist of, and how does that work?
Well, to be brief on that, so some of the projects that I mentioned City Council has authorized incentives for. So many times, the City of Greensboro, of course, works on the front end on a lot of this stuff to make this, like you mentioned, an attractive place to live and to work. So we make investments in infrastructure, we make investments in our workforce development and in our training programs with the community college. We make investments in quality of life amenities like great parks and rec and working with Guilford County and school systems and things like all these things we do on the front end. But sometimes when companies are considering Greensboro and other sites, they may ask for incentives. And so that's when we work with the Greensboro Chamber to work on the incentive proposal. And then it's an all public process, so the City Council votes on that. And they authorize the city to go under contract for incentives. So, and all these incentives are paid post-performance. So these are not upfront payments. So once they've made the investment, once they've created the jobs, and we see proof of that, then we work out payment for that. And typically that's staggered out over the course of several years. And many times we also have retention. So it's not just hiring the jobs and then fire them the next year. We put retention years on these projects as well so that they stay. So we work a lot with the company on that once they decide to make the decision to locate here. So
Thank you for explaining that, because I think people get excited and they're like, oh, there's going to be 1,700 new jobs, but you want to make sure those jobs stay as solid as they were when they were presented, as opposed to a bait and switch.
Right, exactly. So, and then a lot of times people think that we're giving money up front when we're not. There's, this is projected out in our budget over the course of many years, and we need they show us proof. We also work a lot with a lot of these companies will also receive state incentives, and many times they need a local government entity to manage that, and so we manage a lot of the state contracts as well.
Okay.
So when they receive incentives from the state, we also work with the company for them to provide documentation of what they did what they said they were going to do, and then we verify that and send that to the state for their payments as well.
Okay.
So there's a lot of that sort of thing.
Now, while we always want to roll the red carpet out for very large companies and corporate entities, our community depends on small business. So is there any assistance through your office to help our small business community?
That's a good question. So we regularly get that question asked in our office, and we work with a lot of our partners. You'll hear me say that a lot probably already, is with partners. So I work in a very small office, so it's just two of us, and we're a pretty lean group. We're hoping to expand a little bit, but the City of Greensboro works a lot with economic development partners, and so when it comes to small business, we have folks like Piedmont Business Capital. So the city appropriates some funds for them to make small business loans in certain areas of our city. We also work a lot with, and we fund programs for Launch Greensboro, which is a business accelerator program within the city, within the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce. And then we work with different partners like the Nussbaum Center, which is an incubator off of South Elm Eugene, and the other services that they provide there too. So we refer a lot of folks to different things. And of course our library services has a business librarian that also helps companies when they're looking to find data and things like that. So we try to provide things that that related to city services that we can help with, whether that's helping them work through the administrative process for permitting or things like that. But we don't have a specific grant program within the city for small businesses.
Okay, but any assistance is good assistance. Before we run out of time, is there anything exciting and new coming up that you want to give us a preview of?
Well, there's a lot of projects still in the works. We're seeing a lot of healthy activity in Greensboro area since a lot of these projects have announced. So we're staying busy. Our office, like I mentioned, we're hoping to expand a little bit to help with some of the grant administration that we're doing because of just the influx of activity. We're also looking to work with our partners on different other programs that they're doing. We're working to revamp our sort of urban development program that we've used in the past. So we're looking to revamp that in the future to kind of promote more infill development in the city. And we're also looking at other corridors in the city for future projects. We've applied for a grant with the EDA to look at the 421 corridor because we're providing infrastructure down to the mega site through there. So we're looking down in that area too for different ways that we're going to try to do a land use study if we get the grant and do that sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, certainly you've been busy. Your first 12 months kept you hopping and not a dull moment, and Greensboro is certainly going to continue growing. So we thank you for all the coordinated economic development efforts that you're working on. Do come back and give us updates as you have these projects starting to unfold.
Great. Thanks for having me. It's really a exciting and energizing time to be here, and lots of momentum going. We'll just keep it going.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council has resumed meeting in the Katie Dorsett Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building, located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. Greensboro City Manager Taiwo Jayoba presented City Council with a $689 million recommended budget for fiscal year 2022-23. The proposal maintains the current city property tax rate of 66.25 cents per $100 property valuation and recommends increasing the monthly solid waste fee from $2.50 to $3.50. Additionally, the household hazardous waste monthly fee could possibly increase from 60 cents to 97 cents as a way to offset the increase in contracted services. With these proposed increases, Greensboro remains one of the lowest among its peer cities in North Carolina. The manager's PowerPoint presentation of the recommended budget is available on the city's website. The proposed budget recognizes operational needs and community expectations, resulting in new positions in police, fire, the Minority and Women Business Enterprise Office, the City Manager's Office, and the Departments of Transportation, Water Resources, and Parks and Recreation. The public can share thoughts with the City Council during a public hearing at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, June 7th. An approved budget will be voted on during the Tuesday, June 21st City Council meeting. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, let's meet our neighbors who boomeranged back to Greensboro.
My name is Phoebe Murray, and I am a consultant in workforce retention and recruitment. I came back from the Triangle area because my family was ready to settle down and buy a home. Charles and I are fortunate that we're both primarily remote workers, so we have the flexibility to work from home at this point in our lives when we're trying to spend as much time as possible together with our family and watching our daughter grow up.
My name is JT Job, and I'm a software developer at Innovations for Learning. I left Greensboro in 2005, and it's changed so much since then. Greensboro is great for my career. Since I work remotely as a developer, there's a fantastic community of people working at a co-working space downtown. I love living in Fisher Park because it's so beautiful. The architecture, the trees, everything that you get with the historic district. And we have the beautiful actual park in the middle of the neighborhood that's just a great place to go walking with your dog.
My family and I love to just get out for walks in the neighborhood. We pop into Deep Roots and pick up groceries to cook for dinner. We love strolling around Fisher Park. It's just a beautiful neighborhood to live in.
I like to joke that this is the second pandemic our home's been through. It was built in 1913, so we know it's over 100 years old. My wife Keely and I are expecting our first, and we couldn't be happier to be bringing her up in this beautiful house in this great neighborhood.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. Trotter Active Adult Center, in partnership with the Organization to Provide Equal Access to Technology, will offer Silver Tech. These are technology classes designed for adults who do not have access to a computer or would like to learn basic computer and internet skills. The cost is $100 for 4 weeks, and participants will receive a computer they get to keep once they complete all the classes. Sessions will take place on Thursdays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. The Thursday Silver Tech classes will meet from June 16th to July 7th, and again from July 21st to August 11th. The Saturday Silver Tech session will meet from June 18th to July 16th, but there is no class on July 2nd. The schedule resumes from July 23rd to August 13th. The Silver Tech program curriculum covers subjects such as how to set up and start your computer, navigate the internet, and use Microsoft Office. To register, call the Trotter Active Adult Center at 336-373-2927. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to the Water Resources Department. Staff is hosting Guilford Creek Week all this week. They are emphasizing the importance and benefits of clean lakes and streams. Environmental education sessions will be hosted by several city departments. There will also be a cleanup of Lake Higgins along with other planned activities. Visit the City of Greensboro and Guilford County websites for a list of all city events and activities taking place in the community at large. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM and 100.7 FM. Be sure to download our weekly podcast, Talk City Greensboro, and now GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.